Goes straight into the lead, going to take them forward, dropping back to Novice company here. Jacob's Ladder sits second on the outside. Pure Steel is going to slot in third. Copic de Board 4, and the early back marker is Salvator Mundi. So they take the climb, bringing them towards fence number 1, and Irish Panther has pressed on at speed, 31 mile an hour up the hill, being followed by Jacob's Ladder, who's towards the outside. Copic de Board alongside Pure Steel and Salvator Mundi, all safely over fence number 1 as they race towards the turn now, bringing them right-handed on towards fence number 2 at the top of the track. And it's Irish Panther by 4 to 5 lengths. Copic de Board has slotted in second, Pure Steel is third, Jacob's Ladder just slotting back now to 4, and Salvator Mundi is last of the 5 as they rise now out over fence number 2 and over in front. A little bit awkward there, Andy. Copic de Board.
Yeah, so as I was saying before, I was hoping he'd jump out and make the running. He did act up and go down keen, so they've decided to drop him in. That hasn't really worked either. He's ended up in second and still running keen, but I suppose Paul doesn't want to get into a battle with Irish Panther. He's going plenty fast, so Paul, he'd prefer to be more settled, but I'd say he's happy in the position he's in.
So it's Irish Panther who set out with intent. Copic de Board still strong in second, being chased back in third spot by Pure Steel, who went shipped at Fairyhouse last time when running his race there over that one. Back in 4 is Salvator Mundi, and Jacob's Ladder just drops back last of the 5, so they continue now towards a plain one before they make their way down along the back straight. And it's Irish Panther who's going to take them out over it. Under Kieran Buckley, just touched off behind Romeo Coolio for a grade 1. Went to the champion chase, back in Novice company now, and really pressing on this leader from Copic de Board second. Back in third is Salvator Mundi, and in 4 is Pure Steel, and Jacob's Ladder just struggling a little at the back of the pack as they got to race along the back straight now on towards fences 5, 6 and 7, 2 plain ones in a ditch. And it is Irish Panther for the Harty team who've won this race back in 2010 with Captain CB, being followed by Copic de Board in second. Just his third start over fences, remember. Salvator Mundi, Pure Steel and Jacob's Ladder. They're nicely strung out, Andy. They're doing 29 mile an hour, but it seems to be enough for plenty of them.
Yeah, Irish Panther going a really good gallop. Kieran Buckley wouldn't be the most experienced jockey at this level, but he is giving this some ride. He's lying up the neck, and the horse is absolutely jumping from fence to fence. Copic de Board only now just settling into a rhythm, has always been a little bit too keen up to that, but now that he's settled, you would like to think that the jumping is going to get a bit better from here. He's been getting a little bit close, a little bit similar there, but it's a fairly good jump. And in behind, Salvator Mundi still travelling well, but as they mentioned beforehand, he can travel to deceive. Both Pure Steel and Jacob's Ladder looking to be struggling a bit at this stage.
Irish Panther leaves the back straight now on his way towards 4 from the finish from Copic de Board, who has him within his sights. Salvator Mundi is just trying to latch onto them. Pure Steel really feeling the pinch now, and they're gone clear from Jacob's Ladder as they head down along the side of the track with 4 to jump in the Barberstown Castle Novice chase. And out in front it is still Irish Panther who takes them along from Copic de Board in second. Salvator Mundi is third down the inside, and Copic de Board's getting closer now, so too Salvator Mundi. They're away from Pure Steel. It's down to 3 for the grade 1. Irish Panther, Copic de Board, Salvator Mundi as they race on the approach towards the fence before the turn in. Irish Panther gap down to less than a length now as Copic de Board goes up on the outside, less than half a length you'd say. Then Salvator Mundi, who's close in third as they take the fence before the turn in. Salvator Mundi was good there, he's just closing on the inside, and now it's getting tight up front. It's Irish Panther with Copic de Board travelling strongly up on the outside. Salvator Mundi is going to try and just latch on to Copic de Board if he can as they turn towards home with 2 to jump in the Barberstown. And it's Copic de Board from Irish Panther, Salvator Mundi as they head on their way towards the second last. And Copic de Board beginning to lengthen stride now, but Salvator Mundi still right there at the second last. He's gone! Oh, we've lost Copic de Board, and it's game on now. It's Irish Panther the far side, near side Salvator Mundi. They're a long way clear. It's all to play for now with 1 to jump, and Salvator Mundi's just beginning to get the upper hand from Irish Panther. Final fence for Salvator Mundi, ears pricked over the last just. Irish Panther second, all change at the second last, but Harry Cobden's going to pick up the grade 1 here, and Salvator Mundi going further and further clear. It's jump racing, they're there to be jumped, and Salvator Mundi has done just that. Second in an entry grade 1. He's picked up the one at Punchestown. Back in second is Irish Panther, third is Jacob's Ladder, and back in fourth is Pure Steel. It's all action here at Punchestown. Andy, we've just seen Salvator Mundi win, but that's not the full story of the race.
No, so well, credit to Salvator Mundi, and he's had his day. We were a little bit critical of him beforehand, yeah, but definitely the talking point of the race was Copic de Board crashing out when looking to have the race at his mercy at the second last. A bit on that though, because they've gone very quick, I wonder how much, if Copic de Board was getting tired, Paul looked to have the race in his grasp turning for home, but he did a slightly unusual thing for Paul, is he did a lot of looking round to see how Salvator Mundi was going behind him, and he held and held and held. Normally Paul is quite confident in himself, doesn't do that much looking around. He has a look here, and as he comes around the bend, he has another look again. So I wonder if there was a little bit of an emptying in the tank that he had. The horse has jumped out to his left, and that's made it a bit too long. So hopefully
just see it
everything
here
is okay.
now. As Paul moves out, he does jump off a little bit to his left. Do you say it's a tired jump, or what do you think?
Possibly, and Paul has a stick in the inside hand because the horse hadn't been jumping that way. So he comes out, he stands off a long way out and gets the top.
No landing gear.
He does hit the top of the fence, which takes his legs from under him. But I wonder if he was getting tired up to that already.
Well, Paul is up and Copic de Board is up. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and I suppose interesting there, Harry Cobden, we all know he's getting the JP McManus job next year, but he's also been riding an awful lot for Willie Mullins of late, so we could be seeing a lot of him both in the green and gold silks, but also for Willie Mullins next year.
Well, if Harry Cobden's over here, he's going to want to see a lot of Katie Walsh, and he's about to talk to her now.
Harry, well done. You're on the scoreboard with a Grade 1 winner.
Yeah, we are. Potentially a fortunate one, but look, if you're not in it, you can't win it. And delighted to pick up the ride. Thanks to Willie for letting me ride him, and these colours have been very lucky for me.
Yeah, absolutely. The Donnelly colours. Let's talk about the race, though. Good, consistent gallop everywhere. Kieran Buckley went a real good gallop. Paul went to drop in, and then he kind of ran in his hands and sat second. But down the back, they were really slipping on, and you just couldn't go with them. You had to leave them alone maybe for a couple of furlongs.
Yeah, and those two horses in front, they were the two sort of other high-class horses in the race, weren't they? And you can't give them too much. And fair play to Willie and David Casey. They told me to ride him to run well, and that's exactly what's happened. Yeah,
nice instructions though, isn't it? It's lovely because you're only hunting away for a bit of prize money, and then if something goes wrong, which it did. But yet again, I wonder what did Paul have left in the locker all the same for him to jump so violently left as well at the second last. And you were kind of lucky not to get brought down, to be honest.
He was, yeah. He was very quick with his feet. But it is just a lovely way of riding him, and you put no pressure on the horse on the way around. And I thought he jumped particularly well today. And rhythm's everything, isn't it? When you get into that nice rhythm round here, I just felt along the way around I was meeting all those fences on a lovely stride, and he wasn't wasting any time in the air.
Yeah, and I actually love the way from the back of the last, the way you galloped up past the line. Anyway, it'll always be up for debate, but super, and great to get a winner here in Punchestown, Harry.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
You're not finished yet though. Honesty policy in the next.
Honesty policy in the next. He's obviously got a nice chance. He did have a hard race in Cheltenham and Aintree, but he wouldn't be here if the team didn't think he was in good form. So another great ride to pick up, and fingers crossed he'll run his race.
Another winner would be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it just?
You take it.
Thank you.
Well done, Harry.
Well on to Harry Cobden, to Salvator Mundi, and that's the best sight we're going to see. Both Copic de Board and Paul Townend are up after that horrendous fall at the second last. He really threw himself at it. What would have happened, we don't know, but I'm sure he was trading a very, very short odds and running. Where do you want to start, Davy? I personally thought he was full of running. You disagree?
And I disagree that he was going to win in Cheltenham as well. I think he empties out. I think he over races until he stops over racing. He's not going to reach his potential. He got away with it over hurdles. You're not going to get away with it over fences. I thought it was bad manners out of him to fall. Now he could have put down a foot and tried to survive a little bit better than what he did. He didn't. He made very little attempt to stand up at the back of the fence. Well, I don't think he was that long at it. I don't know. I'm not a fan anyway of a horse. I'd prefer to see him try a little bit harder.
The main thing is that he's okay, and we'll be back to see him next year. Copic de Board was the bubble that has burst. Salvator Mundi, I've called him a couple of names in the past, Lisa, but he's come good today.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Jane. He's a horse that obviously has always had plenty of talent, but he hasn't done things overly straightforward.
It was actually he and Copic de Board sabotaged their chance here in a novice hurdle last year.
They took each other on
when they went a million miles an hour.
Yeah, but how many times have we seen that the outsider or the the second string or whatever you want to call it, that doesn't
Turn
get
over the William Mullins first string.
It doesn't get involved in the race, and Harry Cobden was allowed the liberty to just relax into the race, and even if he finished second or third, it wouldn't have mattered. He just rode that type of race.
He relaxed though because the pace was so frenetic.
Correct.
Also, so that has helped him, and I think he's improved an awful lot of what we've seen of him